Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's your host, Matt Geringer, here with your regular guest, William Zawida Hadidine.
What's up, dude?
JPR, Jewish Public Radio. And today, our topic of discussion is going to be the holiday of Kashrut. Okay, so, well, as you know, I'm a Reformed Jew. My family, obviously, was not very strict on the rules of Kashrut and the dietary rules having to do with kosher foods and whatnot. Being the Orthodox Jew you are, if you could go into the dietary rules, specifying on the kosher rules and general rules and requirements of Kashrut, that'd be great.
All right. Although the details of Kashrut are extensive, here are some straightforward and general rules. Certain animals may not be eaten at all, which includes the flesh, organs, eggs, and milk of the forbidden animals. And all of the animals that may be eaten, they must be killed in accordance with Jewish law. Like, all blood must be drained from the meat or poultry or boiled out before it's eaten. And certain parts may not be eaten. And although fruits and vegetables are permitted, they must be inspected for bugs, which cannot be eaten. And meat cannot be eaten with dairy, so, for example, you cannot have a cheeseburger because the meat and the cheese are mixed, and that cannot work. And also, the utensils that have been used on meat cannot come in contact with dairy and vice versa. And grapefruits made by non-Jewish people may not be eaten, and that's it.
For one, when answering my last question, you talked about the certain parts of animals, and you went into fruits that could be eaten and the preparations that needed to be taken for certain things to be eaten.
Yeah.
Now, if you wouldn't mind going into more specifically what kind of animals can be eaten and what requirements those animals need to fulfill to be eaten.
Okay.
Two main requirements. Okay, well, so you explained what animals may and may not be eaten, but now, if you wouldn't mind, would you go into the ways, the more specifics of how these animals must be prepared before they are considered kosher and in the laws of Kashrut? Well, as an observing Orthodox Jew, where can one find these rules for Kashrut?
Well, Matt, most of these rules are found in the Torah. And as to the question of how do you know if it is kosher, well, these symbols over here are put on the labels of food to make sure that people know that they are kosher. But, as you can read here, there are many other certifications available of varying degrees and strictness. And so that's how you know if it's kosher or not.
Okay, well, you've done great so far, but this is your final question. I've heard a lot about this hariv, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. If you wouldn't mind explaining that a little more in depth for your last question.
Well, Matt, hariv is a classification of food in Kashrut for edible substances that contain neither dairy nor meat ingredients. Food in this category includes all items that go from the ground, and fish, eggs, and non-biological edible items, such as water and salt. Thank you, Matt, for having me on your radio station, JPR, which is Jewish Public Radio. I can't wait to see you next week. All right, bye.